Can violence lead to a covenant of peace? What an interesting question for the day and the time and the age that we live in. Coming to you from Israel, of course, we're always dealing with questions like this. But where is the question coming from? Well, I have the pleasure today of taking a look at the Parashat Pinchas in our yearly readings. Now, this parasha is going to cover Numbers chapter 25 to chapter 30. So let me give you a little bit of a background and then get a little bit more detailed on why I asked that question. Israel is being influenced by other nations. They are not following the Lord. They're following the Baal of Peor. They're engaging in sinful acts. The Lord is very unhappy with this. After all, He's blessed them so much in the wilderness and given them a great future. They're heading toward the promised land. He's given them the laws. They're a brand new society. They're a brand new nation. He's already won victories in battle for them, but now they have let their spiritual guard down. They're being influenced by pagan nations. And in this particular parsha, we find that they're engaging in relationships that they shouldn't engage in, and then they start to do it blatantly in front of the leaders of Israel. It even says that there was a man that came in with a Moabite woman and a Midianite woman, and they paraded her in front of Moses and the tribal leaders, and he took her into a tent in Israel. Now, when that happened, Moses got the instructions from the Lord to go to all those tribal leaders and say, if you find the leaders in Israel that are causing this problem, you have to take action on this. You cannot allow this to live in Israel. And 24,000 Israelites were slain that day because of the judgment upon them, because they violated the laws of God. Now, that's a little bit of the broader context, so let's get more specific. Why is it called Parashat Pinchas? Well, Pinchas is the Hebrew name of the character Phinehas. Who is Phinehas? Well, Phinehas is the great-grandson or the grandson of Aaron. So we have high priest Aaron, Eleazar's family, we get to Pinchas. But in this particular story, Pinchas saw the Israeli man go out with the foreign woman into a tent, paraded her right in front of the leaders, and they were having relations together in the tent. Phinehas was not going to have any of this. He goes and picks up the spear, and he drives the spear through both of them. And he was praised by Moses. He was praised by the Lord for his actions as one of the high priestly family members. So I go back to the original question. Can violence lead to a covenant of peace? Well, as we get into the text itself, I want to quote directly from Numbers chapter 25. And in the Hebrew and in the English, we'll find it's chapter 25, verse 12. I'm going to read it in the Hebrew first, and then we'll read it in the English. It says, Lechen emor hineni noten lo et briti shalom. If I were to read that from the English of the Tree of Life Bible, it says, so now say, see, I am making with him, with Phinehas, my covenant, a covenant of shalom. And it's very specific to my covenant, briti. So Phinehas, even though he does what appears to be a violent act, he killed two people in the act of committing sin, it was because of his role of being in the high priest family, and he was helping to keep Israel pure. Remember, what was Israel chosen to be? A royal priesthood, a holy nation, a light to other nations, an intercessory nation, an example nation to the rest of the world. And Phinehas was helping build Israel into its destiny. And even though the violent act, I wish it would not have had to be done, but it had to be done in that instance, and he was rewarded with this covenant of peace. What does it mean for us today? Well, listen, friends, I'm not condoning violence in any way against anyone. But what we can say is this. When we live as ambassadors and leaders for the kingdom of God, we too, according to 1 Peter, we too are part of the royal priesthood and holy nation today. There are going to be hard things we need to do, hard decisions we need to make, a firm stance we might have to take in the face of the society around us or in the influence of our friendships. Hard things that we have to do in order to maintain the integrity, the holiness of the kingdom of God, not only in our life, but in the life of our community around us. Phinehas was rewarded for that, and we will be rewarded for making those hard choices as well. I hope this helps you the next time you are faced with a very tough decision when you have to go against the stream, even if it's very difficult for you to do. The Lord bless you.